Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. It's Kevin here, and let's do another weekly wrap-up video with personal fragrance. Welcome back to my personal fragrance lovers and friends. It's always good to see you guys and talk to you on this channel. And right now, it's that time of year, and it's the mood that I'm in, and it's really what I'm loving and enjoying. And I am gonna have a couple of more personal fragrance videos here coming up in the next week or so. I am planning on a video where I rank my top 10 fragrances for 2023, new releases for 2023. And that should be coming out in the next week or so. So probably even see that one before the new year hits. And also I've got a couple of other videos planned as well. A list video for 2023 on things that I've purchased this year as well. So those are a couple of fragrance videos that I have planned for this channel. Let's get right into it. One thing I will say about this past week, we're at Christmas Eve as of the day that I'm filming this. I don't know when I'm gonna get this video up. It might be either tomorrow or Christmas Day, but I'm thinking maybe even I'll push it back to the day after Christmas. I don't know. But one thing I will say about this video, it has been unseasonably warm lately where I live. It's not really greatly affected my scent preferences, my choices for each day this past week, but that was something I wanted to note. My scent of the day here on Sunday on Christmas Eve is this one from Givenchy. This is the Gentleman line. This is a Reserve Privé. And this is a fragrance that one of my most worn fragrances last year for 2022. And it's one that I really haven't worn a lot this year. That happens. I mean, I'll wear a fragrance seasonally, of course, a lot in a fragrance season, maybe the year prior. And then the next, I'll kind of be cooled on it and not really reach for it as often. That happened with Reserve Privé quite a bit this year. It's a fragrance in the genre of iris fragrances, which we've seen done to death over the years. I feel like they're still just as popular as they were 10 years ago. And really the Givenchy Gentleman line is capitalizing on that. I feel like there's a good amount of chocolatey patchouli in this fragrance. Yeah, you can't ignore it, and it's that waxy kind of lipsticky, makeup-y iris, and it does have a little bit of a chocolatey vibe, and it does have a little bit of a base of patchouli, I would say. And for me, the appeal of this fragrance is that chocolatey feel of it to go along with that makeup-y iris. And I would actually say this might be my favorite from the Gentleman line from Givenchy. That's Reserve Privé. That's my scent of the day. I'm actually gonna spray it on here with you guys. So I do have my fan on overhead. That affects it sometimes when I'm spraying it. Okay, here we go. Oh, I love that initial blast of chocolate in it. It's just so unique. It's a little powdery, you know, a little makeup-y. The fragrance just overall is makeup-y because it really focuses around that iris. Reserve Privé, my scent of the day for Christmas Eve 2023. Saturday was this one right here from Parfums de Marly. That is Altair. And it's a fragrance that gets compared a lot to Mercedes-Benz Club Black. I don't really see a lot of those comparisons. It does have that metallic powderiness to it in the opening. I'm actually really starting to enjoy this one. I know there was a lot of hate, just like there is for Parfums de Marly fragrances when they get released, simply because there's a lot of hype for them. So inevitably, when you get the hype and you get that hype train rolling, there's gonna be a lot of backlash after it. And I think that's just kind of standard for the fragrance community nowadays. When people hype things up, just gonna see a long line of people that are coming right behind it to kind of keep them honest a little bit. Altair, I really enjoy it. I'm starting to like it more and more as I wear it more and more. As the weather kind of gets more mild, I'm starting to like it. It reminds me a little bit of that metallic powdery opening of Pegasus from the same house. I don't really get much of the comparisons to Club Black, but that's okay. I love Club Black. It's its own fragrance. It really is doing its own thing. And this one is as well. It has a place in my collection, I will say that. It's not a fragrance that I've really thought about getting rid of or selling off at any point. I really am gonna stick with that one. I could see it getting more use as the winter months go on. For me, I would probably even consider it more of a winter fragrance than a fall fragrance. I know a lot of people consider it a niche fall fragrance for them. I'll probably wear that one more. Even as we get closer to spring, I'll probably wear it more. And then on Friday, I wore this one, this cult classic. It is Midnight in Paris. And of course, this one is from Van Cleef and Arpels. And it's a fragrance that has been discontinued for a while now. It was a cheapie when it was out, probably in the $30 range for a big bottle like this, 125 mils. It gets compared to a couple of different fragrances. Bulgari's Black, that's one that it gets compared to, which when I first owned this fragrance, and it's been years now, I really did get that comparison. It was very noticeable. Over the years though, since that time, I've kind of gotten the comparison more to something like Prada Luna Rosa's Black. That's a fragrance that it really is starting to remind me more over the years, even more so than Bulgari's Black. It is one though, to me, that feels like a $30 fragrance. I mean, if we're just being honest with ourselves, and skyrocketing prices on the gray market aside, and not really even wanting to take advantage of that, not having any interest in that, it's a $30 fragrance for me. When I spray this on, that's what it feels like. I have a lot of other vanilla fragrances that I would prefer over this one. Probably would take those two aforementioned fragrances over this one, most likely. But hey, this is gonna fetch you a pretty penny on the gray market if it's something that you're interested in, and just not one that I would recommend spending the extra amount on. And then on Thursday, this one right here from Maison Margiela, from their replica line, it is By the Fireplace. I have never been a huge fan of By the Fireplace. I don't know what it is. It is a vanilla centered fragrance. It's one that a lot of people have kind of compared to a candle from Bath and Body Works, which is Marshmallow Fireside. Over the years, I've seen that comparison quite a bit. I don't really see the comparison, to be honest. Not that they're worlds apart or anything like that. It's just a fragrance for me that has a lot more woodiness than Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Fireside does. That candle, I feel like there is a noticeable, almost perfumey marshmallow feel to it. Whereas this, I'm getting much more vanilla, much more woodiness, much more of a masculine feel. And I know that there are a lot of fans from the women's side that prefer this one, so you could probably consider it unisex. I think it leans more masculine, but whatever. By the Fireplace, I chose that one on Thursday. One of the warmer days this week was just a really dumb grab for me. It was this one from Dua Fragrances. That is a clone fragrance house if you're not familiar with them. And this one is called #Candy. It is the older style bottles that they used to have with the really plastic, cheap filling caps. I mean, we're talking like something you would find at, Walmart in the body mist spray area. I mean, it's just really cheap and plastic feeling. They have since changed the caps to these, and I think they've changed the bottles as well, but I think they still remain in these 30 ml bottles, if I'm not mistaken. This is their interpretation of Liz Claiborne's Candies for Men. It doesn't disappoint at all. I love this. I was actually thinking of purchasing the new style bottle of this fragrance as well. And I am a huge fan of Candies for Men from Liz Claiborne. It's a fragrance that has been discontinued for many years now, and if you try to purchase it on the gray market, good luck with that. I would just recommend this one. It's got a lot more of that kind of fruity watermelon, whereas the original Candies for Men was more of a green fragrance even, and probably not a watermelon, but I know a lot of people consider it a watermelon fragrance. They really did do a good job with this and amped up the watermelon on that one. And I think that was Wednesday's fragrance. And then on Tuesday, it's this one right here from Amouage. That is Lyric Man. One of the absolute best rose fragrances, masculine rose fragrances that I've ever smelled. If I were to do a top 10 rose fragrance list, yeah, expect to see this one in it at the very top of the list. It does have lime in it too, so that's up top. It is a very kind of zingy rose fragrance, even though there are some darker notes in this one as well. I think even myrrh and incense are listed notes in this, along with patchouli, I want to say, and even musk. So it does have a very heavy kind of masculine feel to it. Feels a little bit peppery to me when I first spray it on, especially when I overspray. This to me is a classic men's fragrance though. If you are a male that appreciates rose fragrances and you don't mind that they lean a little bit more on the masculine side of roses, Lyric Man is one I would definitely recommend. And then on Monday, it was another freshie for me. It was this one right here, Missoni Pour Homme. And this one right here, this one's been around for a while now. It gets a lot of comparisons to Chanel's Bleu de Chanel. I don't really think that they're very similar. I mean, they're in that same genre of fragrance. I would actually consider this a blue fragrance fougere. So two different categories even, a blue fragrance and a fougere. It feels like both to me in one. I mean, it does have the citruses, kind of like Bleu de Chanel does, but as far as comparing them to each other, I really wouldn't take it very much further than just kind of considering them in the same fragrance genre. I really like this one. If you were to ask me, hey Kev, what's a fragrance for, $40, $45 that you would recommend to someone, doesn't really appreciate some of the more unique and complex fragrances, just want something very easy to spray on and leave and go out the door for any time of the year, all year around, Missoni Pour Homme is one that I would highly recommend to someone that was looking for something along those lines. So there you guys have it. That is my weekly wrap up of personal fragrance. It's good to see you guys again, especially here on Christmas Eve. Of course, I've mentioned before, I'm going to keep this up weekly, a weekly video, weekly wrap up of what I've worn throughout the week. It's a good way for me to kind of keep up with you guys and kind of touch base with you, especially during the off season for home fragrance. And of course, you guys know this is a huge passion of mine, something that I've been heavily involved in over the years. And it will always be my first love when I'm comparing it to other things that I talk about on my channel. So it's one of those things that I feel like I could talk about all year around and not get bored with it, and feel like it's very fresh and new to me anytime I talk about it, whether it's during the fall months or spring months or right now. It's something that I love to talk about and it never gets old. So Merry Christmas to you guys. It was good to see you one last time before Christmas this year. So spend time with your family, friends, people that you love during this time of year, people that mean the most to you. I hope you're able to do that, especially during this time of year, during the holidays and coming up on the New Year's. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.